Hey there, it's your Avon lady, Chris Arnold, and I have your product picks for campaign 1 of 2026. I don't know where this year has gone, but the new year is here before you know it. This campaign, we are having a mega makeup sale, and I thought a fun thing to do for a mega makeup sale was I often share, especially when I'm doing my makeup, I share about some of our makeup brushes, and I wanted to give you a little bit more close-up look at those and show you some of the different ways that I use them while also highlighting some of my other favorite makeup products. So I'm going to lose the glasses so we can put on some makeup today. So first off, I wanted to show you the different brushes and what's kind of great about them. So this is the complexion blending brush, and you have your full fluffy end here and then a more precise narrower end here. So this is great for blending in around all, different areas that you want to get just something tight and precise, and this is good for all over the face. Love this brush as a foundation brush because I can use it with liquid, cream, and powder foundation. It works great with all of them. So today I'm going to show one of the liquid foundation options, sort of a foundation, but something I use as a foundation from time to time. Then we have our blush and contour brush. Blush and contour brush. I don't know if I said that right the first time. So it has one angled end, which is kind of for your contouring or maybe your blush, and then the other end has a nice fluffy, which is great for like a finishing powder that you want to do something nice and light, or and both options work great for blush and bronzer and highlighter and all of those things. So really nice, and they're nice, dense, soft, fluffy brushes that really clean well. Like I've used the same set of brushes for a couple of years before I, have washed them so many times that I've had to replace them. And then we have two different brushes for doing eyeshadow and things like that. So we have the eyeshadow blending brush, which has this flatter end here, this kind of wide, narrower end here, which is great kind of for up around the brow bone, all over color. And then this more rounded end here is great for blending, like blending your colors in together. And then we have the precision eye brush, which has this dense, fluffy end, which is great for precision application of eyeshadows. And then this awesome, one of my favorite makeup tools ever, I use it all the time, the angled brush, which works great for like along the lash line and if you want a very precise line. So let me show you how I use these. So first up, I've got the Match Airbrush. This is actually a tinted primer, and some days I use this as a foundation just to kind of mildly even out my skin tone. I use this lighter shade, and honestly probably way too much of it right there. This lighter shade, Fair Light, for my under eye area where it gets really dark. So I want to kind of lighten this area a bit before I come back with the other color. And I just use the narrow end of the complexion blending brush to blend that in. And I love this, an added bonus of using the brushes. Not only does it help the makeup go on really nice and blends it in really well, it also keeps the makeup off my fingers. So that's one less time that I have to wash my hands in the morning, because I wash my hands a lot in the morning between different steps of hair and face and what have you. So that's the little end. Then I take the Match Airbrush. This one is the shade Light Medium, so it's the lightest and next to lightest of the 4 shades. They are very versatile shades. Like you can have a lot of fun with those and use them for highlighting or contouring or anything like that before you get to your foundation. And then I just use the little doe foot applicator and I sweep on kind of a thin layer of that all over the cheeks, and then I use the bigger end of the complexion blending brush and I just lightly blend that out. And this is, like I said, this is the foundation I use. You can see kind of the difference between the two sides. It's not really covering, it's just evening it out a little bit, evening out the skin tone a little bit, and covering up a little bit of the imperfections in the skin, but mostly just kind of making it look still me, but a little more even, and gives it a little bit of that really nice glow. I like that glow from within. And then I just do the same. I get a little bit here and there, and a quick sweep back and forth across the forehead, and then blend those out as well. This works great with our Cashmere Soft Focus foundation. With that one, because it's a pump, I will generally do a pump onto the back of my hand and then use the brush to pick up the color and put that where I want it. It works great with our Match Filter, the compact with the cream foundation, works wonderfully with that as well. You can use this end with the cream foundations or to blend in like the soft focused foundation. And like I said, you can also use these with a powder foundation, or you know, if you want something, a fuller coverage from a powder, this would be the brushes I would use for that versus the fluffier powder brush. So that's how I use the complexion blending brush. And then I'm going to take the blush and contour brush. It's kind of a tongue twister. You've got the angled end if you want kind of an angled, more contouring application. You've got the domed, rounded end for those type of applications. Same with the other brush. This works well with powders and creams and liquids to kind of help blend those out. I like that these bristles are functional with all of them. So this is our Go by Glimmer lip and cheek tint, and this is Velvet Vanilla, the shade that I'm using. And I use this kind of as a blush, and I take the angled end. If I don't want to get my fingers in the product that time, I take the angled end and I just kind of tap it in there, and it gets a little bit of the color on there. And then I can just very lightly blend that out onto my cheeks. Like I said, I'm not going for a ton of color today, but just, again, a little fun color on the cheeks there with the angled end of the brush. And then I will clean off the excess there because I lost my cap. I also like this with the, this is the powder illuminator. So I've got a little bit of blush, and I want to put just a tiny hint of the illuminator over the top of that. Like literally like over the top of the application, but also a little bit higher up on the cheek. Just get that light on that highest point of the cheek there. And again, nice and soft, and it goes well from that powder to this, you know, once you clean off the excess of the cream. And then with the other end of the brush, I'm going to take the Match Dust translucent powder. And this is kind of like your finishing powder. This is the Fair Light. There's also a darker shade of that. Oops, I forgot to tap a little bit out into the lid. And it has this great thing in the, I don't know if you've ever seen this, where you can turn this top portion here and it closes off the holes. So like when you're traveling, or if you have it in your bag, like maybe you need to touch up your nose or something later in the day and you carry it in your bag during the day, you can close that off so you don't accidentally spill it. So I've got a little bit of the powder in and I'm going to take one kind of side. You can kind of see how it's got like the flat side of the dome. I'm going to tap just a little bit of that, tap the excess off, and then I'm just going to sweep that on with this nice fluffy brush. I'm not going for a really heavy coverage. I'm just going for a nice light coverage just to kind of set that Airbrush primer that I'm using as foundation and set my blushes and just give a little bit of extra shine protection and a little bit of extra blurring of the skin to make it just a little bit more soft and even. So this brush, whatever kind of powder you're looking, wherever you're looking to put it, this one works great for it. I do like having the option of the angled brush or the rounded brush to further customize how I want to put the powder on and how I want it to go in place on the face. So then I've got my eyeshadow blending brush, and I have one of our Glimmer eyeshadow quads. Absolutely love these. So many shades of these that I think we have, is it 10 different quads? Might be 14. I think we had 10 before we added the all matte ones. But they're just great little palettes. Love the variety of colors. This is the shade Muse that I'm using today. And it's got, this one is basically 4 shades of purples or burgundies there. So I'm going to start with this kind of light lavender color, and I'm going to use the flat end of the brush, and I'm just going to use this to kind of very lightly. I don't want it to be super thick because it is just not, I don't want it to be super thick and heavy up in the brow there. And I'm just going to fill in this lightest shade up here just to kind of brighten that area, give a little bit of lift to the eye. And I'll show you how you can use the brush to build the color. So let's see if I can get my hand in here. You get a little bit of color there, but then you can come back and just keep adding more onto it. That's like a really bad demonstration. You can come back and just keep adding into it and getting that deeper, more saturated color in there. And now it looks like I have a bruise on my wrist because I went and put purple right where I might hit my wrist on something. So you can keep adding that color. That's a great thing about these Glimmer eyeshadow palettes, is you can go for a very sheer color like I've put here, or you can go like, that's the same color that I have right here and right here. This is just more of the color. So then I'm going to take this more pinky purple shade here, and I'm going to go over the rest of the eyelid with that same brush. So I'm just going to fill in the whole eyelid there. And then I'm going to have some fun with those other 2 darker colors that complement each other so well. But I love these eyeshadow quads because they're 4 already coordinated colors that work wonderfully together. A lot of them do have the light, medium, and dark, so you can get, you know, your different areas of the eye to get your looks. And then a lot of them are mixed. This one is 3 matte shades and 1 shimmer shade. Some of them are all shimmer, some of them are 50-50. And then we do have ones that are all matte shades if you prefer an all matte look. So now I'm going to take the blending brush and just go over that line between the 2 and blend it out. Make it not as obvious of a line. I'm also going to take just a little bit of the darker matte shade. I'm just going to do 1 little tap on there. I don't want a lot of color, but I just want to darken in the crease in this corner a little bit. So I don't want a ton of color, just a really sheer color. So again, just a single tap, and then just sweep it in this outer corner and up into the crease there, just to kind of give that a little more definition. Now, the other brush, the Precision eyeshadow brush, this dense end here, if you want a bolder color in the crease, so if I wanted to go bolder, I would take this and dot that, and that's going to put the color on more concentrated in the area where you're putting it. It's not going to diffuse it as much. So with these brushes, you really can get just a perfect customized look for whatever you're using. Now I do want to have a little fun with this, so I've got this nice shimmery shade here, so I'm going to use that as my eyeliner today. So I'm going to use this mirror here, because when I'm going backwards in the screen, it messes me up a little bit when I'm this close to my lash line. And I'm just going to sweep that color along the lash line. So this is great to put a little bit of color over your liquid or pencil eyeliner, or if you're looking for a softer look, just go straight for the powder. And I just really like how powder eyeshadow blends along the lash line. So this angled brush just works so well for that. I've used ones that were just very, very tiny brushes, but I like the angle because, they say if you have a hard time making a smooth straight line, to do a lot of small lines, well, this just allows you to do a succession of smaller lines and just kind of, put it in, gives you a little bit more of a line than having to draw the line. You can just pat along and not have to necessarily sweep the color to get the line. So that's all of the brushes. I'm just going to finish up the look real quick here with some Wash Off Waterproof Mascara. There. And I find this mascara is great because I can put on just a little bit just to bring out my lashes that tend to not be visible without mascara. Or I can go back and do a second coat and make them a little bit bolder, a little more glam if I want. But I just get it in there and wiggle it all the way out to the end just to get some color on the length there. And then last but not least, I'm going to use the Birthday Balm Lip Crayon. And this is the shade Surprise. This is my favorite shade of Birthday Balm. It's a really natural kind of mauve-y color there. So throw the glasses back on. And that is the finished look using all of our dual-ended makeup brushes. So it's 8 brushes for the price of 4, really. And again, because there is the mega makeup sale, all of that is on sale this campaign. And I'll say, technically everything in the brochure is on sale when you're shopping with an Avon ambassador. But when we have something like the mega makeup sale, it's an even bigger sale. The prices are even lower than they would be normally just shopping with an ambassador. So definitely a good time to, if you want to change up your look for the new year, if you need to replenish any of your makeup that has gotten old or run out. Also a great time to try something new. Try some new shades. Like I said, the eyeshadow quads, we have, let's see, 1, 2, 12, 13 of those eyeshadow quads, different colors. So no matter what kind of colors you're looking for, or we have some of the larger quads like the Colors of Love quad. Those are great with the brushes. You can really customize your look and get a great look out of those. So that's everything I have for you this campaign. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I will see you again soon.